All right, guys, picture this. Someone pushes you down, they start swinging at you, and you don't know what to do, and you don't get up on your feet safely. Well, guess what? We're going to talk about how to do that safely. First off, that was completely wrong. So, how do you fall without getting hurt? I know. It's called the backwards break fall. And here's how you do it. So first off, you're going to squat down and then roll back and smack the ground. And another thing, you want to tuck your chin to your chest. The reason is because if you fall and hit your head, you have something very important up in here, and that's called brain. And we do not want to damage that at all. So that's why it's very important to tuck your chin to your chest while you're doing that. And also another thing, you notice that I didn't really catch myself on my hands. If you catch yourself on your hands, you could possibly break your wrists. So I'm gonna turn this way, that way you can see that my chin is tucked and my back is curled. So again, I squat down here and smack the ground. Now, another thing. Have you ever got the breath knocked out of you? Like you feel like you fell and you're just like, Yeah, we're gonna prevent that from happening. So what we're gonna do is once you smack the ground, you're going to breathe out forcefully, because if you just go, that won't do anything. So just remember, forcefully. So I'm here, I squat down, roll back, and I breathe out. Now, whenever someone pushes you, do you just accept that you're falling and just fall like a tree? No. What I did was I took a step back. So we're gonna go ahead and take that step back and just do everything else just from the step back. So I'm here, squat down, second step, and now we're gonna take it one step further. So I'm gonna ask my dad to come back on here to push me again. Now, what if they start to come towards you and start to swing? So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be doing a defensive stand-up. So as you can see, I have one knee up and one knee down and one hand down. And now I'm gonna put this hand up. Now real quick, I want you to try to get up without this hand coming to the floor. So get up and keep this hand up high. So again, one knee up, one knee down, hand up, and stand up. Now the reason I have this hand up is because once you start swinging, I need something to block with. And if I have my hand down, guess what? I'm gonna get hit in the face. And that is not fun. So keep that hand up to block the strikes. But you have a problem with having that hand up. It's hard to stand up when you don't use both hands. So keep this hand in the air and then stand up. And work through that just a couple times. So again, I'm here, got one knee up, one knee down, one hand up, and then I get up. And also notice that I did get this hand up behind here because if they still keep swinging at me, I need both hands up for that. So again, one hand up, one knee up, one knee down, one hand down. I'm here, I get up, and notice that my feet didn't come completely together, because as you can see, I'm kind of off balance when I do that. So you want this knee, when it comes up, you want it as far back as you can get it. Like that. All right, so I'm gonna ask my dad to come back again to shove me, because I don't know. So what happens if he's like swinging and moving around and trying to hit me then? What do I do then? Well, let's get back to that sitting position, shall we? So I'm here, I got my hand up, knee down, one hand down. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you can move back, you can move to the side, you can move to the other side, and you can also turn. We're gonna be doing all that. Notice I'm still keeping my hand up as I'm moving. So I'm gonna ask my dad to come back in again. One thing, notice that I'm keeping my feet in between me and him. I don't want to allow him to get past my legs, because if that happens, then it is going to be easier for him to hit me. So make sure that you're constantly keeping your feet in between you and them. So now he's swinging at me and I'm blocking. Now I'm gonna back up as he's swinging at me. This way, I can keep distance. That way I can stand up. What happens if you can't create distance while moving? Our goal is to try to make him back up with some kicks. How do you kick from the ground, you might ask? Well, guess what? I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna ask my dad to come back. So, one of the kicks is the front kick. So, that's where I take the bottom of my foot and push on his shin. The reason I want to push on his shin is because if I go too high, he could catch my leg and then I'm doomed. Ah! And then I have the side kick where my toes are pointing to the side and I'm still kicking in the same spot as I did the front kick. And then there's the roundhouse kick where I take this part of my leg and slam it into his leg. This one requires some extra momentum. So I'm gonna have to really wound up and then come up to my knee. Now we're gonna do a weird kick. It's called the oblique kick. Yes, it's as weird as its name. So it's where my toes are pointing to the side, so it's kind of like a side kick. So lift your hips off the floor and then drive forward. So just to summarize what we've got so far, we've got the front kick, we've got the side kick, we've got the roundhouse kick, and then we've got the oblique kick. And guess what? All those kicks help us create space between them. So even if they keep coming forward, guess what? You can do one of those kicks. Okay, now what happens if they actually get to your side? Like you completely forget to move. What do you do then? You're gonna find that out. Now, I messed up and that way he got around me or he was just too fast. So now I'm onto my side. Now I'm going to curl up like a turtle. I'm gonna turn this way. Don't hit me. Yes, this is technically fetal position, but you can only stay here for a couple seconds. So he starts kicking, striking or whatever, and while he's doing that, I'm going to grab his ankle, get up to my knees. Notice that my head is on the outside of his leg. And then I'm gonna push with my shoulder on his knee and just continue to do that until he falls. Some of the most common mistakes that we see is people tend to grab not on the ankle, they tend to grab on the actual leg instead of that. But that doesn't work as well as the ankle because their foot can move. And it's not as easy to lock their leg back. So here we're holding their foot in place by grabbing at the heel. And again, you want to push with that shoulder on their knee until they fall. And that was the ground, shield, and takedown. All right, so now we're gonna put everything together that we've learned so far, and we're actually gonna pressure test this, so you guys get to see that. And again, we are trained professionals, so we know what we're doing. All right, so now I'm gonna get attacked by Dad and Jada. Not at the same time, though. That went really well, other than the rude light just got in the way. Notice I did get hit. You are gonna get hit whether you're a good blocker or not. Just know that you're gonna get hit. And you see, I'm fine. Again, we are trained professionals and we know what we're doing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. What happens if you can't create enough distance by distance?
Like that?
This one requires some extra momentum. So I'm gonna have to really wound up and then come up to my knee. All right, so we're gonna now put everything together that we All right, so now we're gonna put everything together. And again, we are trained professionals, so we know what we're doing. except for talking, apparently. Again, we are trained professionals, and we know what we're doing.
Do we though?
Yes, we do. Hey, rude.
I felt bad because, like, I stepped on her shoulder. And so I was, like, stopping, and I was like, oh, we're still filming.